Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Data Playbook. Today we have our Week 15 Sunday games, and unfortunately I didn't get all the changes that I wanted to in for today, but we'll just stick with our regular data, so let's get right to it. Here we have another divisional game with Washington going to New York to face off against the Giants, where the Giants are favored on the money line with a spread of 2.5 and a total line of 46.5. And as always, your team averages are down here. And looking at the rankings, you have Washington with a not so great offense with a scoring rank of 24, a passing rank of 23, their best rank of rushing at 4, and then a tight end rank of 21. Defensively, it's even worse, with an allowed scoring rank of 28, allowed passing rank of 28, allowed rushing rank of 29, and an allowed tight end rank of 24. For the Giants, it's a little bit better offense, with a scoring rank of 23, a passing rank of 15, a rushing rank of 12, and a tight end rank of 17. But their defense is also pretty bad, with an allowed scoring rank of 30, allowed passing rank of 26, allowed rushing rank of 31, and notably, it is interesting that their tight end rank is 9 over their general allowed passing rank of 26. For your quarterbacks in this game, you have Jaden Daniels listed as out, so Marcus Mariota will be our backup with an average of 13.4 fantasy points per game. And then you have Jackson Dart averaging 17.4 fantasy points per game. And then you have their averages, with Mariota also having 7 interceptions this season and 2 rushing fumbles. And you have Jackson Dart with 3 interceptions this season and 1 fumble lost due to a sack, as well as 1 rushing fumble. Looking at how they impact the rushing game, you have Marcus Mariota with 10.7% of the rushing carry share and 14.5% of the rushing yard share. And you have Jackson Dart at 16.1% of the rushing carry share and 21.1% of the rushing yard share. Next up, you have your running backs with Chris Rodriguez and Tyrone Tracy. Rodriguez averaging 6.3 fantasy points per game and Tracy averaging 8.3. There's your seasonal averages, and no turnovers between either running backs. So we're going to look at the charts. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to look at any more of this in detail. But otherwise, you have Chris Rodriguez with 22.4% of the rushing carry share and 21.1% of the rushing yard share. And that's because they've had their fair share of injuries. So there's a lot of different people that have been rushing with the ball. And somewhat similar story over here with Tyrone Tracy getting 29.8% of the rushing carry share and 27.2% of the rushing yard share, mainly because they lost Cam Scatterbo. Moving into our receivers, you have Terry McLaurin and Wan'Dale Robinson, with Terry McLaurin averaging 11.5 fantasy points per game and Wan'Dale Robinson averaging 13.4. Here's your seasonal averages, and again, no turnovers that have actually been given up, so we'll go right into the charts. And you have Terry McLaurin at 13.7% of the target share, 15.1% of the receiving yard share, and Robinson's at 28.5% of the target share and 28.5% of the receiving yard share. That's not quite the largest for Terry McLaurin, but he's been out a bunch this season. However, it is the largest for Wan'Dale Robinson and the Giants. Next up, you have Deebo Samuel and Darius Slayton, with Samuel averaging 13.2 fantasy points per game and Slayton averaging 7.3. Flipped over for your seasonal averages, and Deebo Samuel has given up no turnovers this season. However, Slayton has had 1 receiving fumble this season. And then moving to their share, you have Deebo Samuel with 27.2% of the target share and 25% of the receiving yard share, which is the largest on the team. And then you have Darius Slayton with 10% of the target share and about 14% of the receiving yard share. And then for your tight ends, you have John Bates and Theo Johnson, with Bates just averaging about 2 fantasy points per game and Theo Johnson averaging about 9. There's their seasonal averages, and with no turnovers, we're going straight to the charts, where John Bates doesn't really have much on here, and it's really going to hurt because I believe this very large portion here is actually Zach Ertz. And then over here with Theo Johnson, you have him at 17.6% of the target share and 15.7% of the receiving yard share. And that will wrap up the information for this game. I think the most notable parts of this might be this rushing rank of 4 for Washington against this allowed rushing rank of 31. So if they can continue that, they might have some success on the ground. And other than that, you have the Giants with this offense that's a little better than this defense. So the Giants might still have the advantage through these rankings. But that's about it. Otherwise, Washington might be able to really rush it on the Giants and control the game. So I could see where Washington could win this game. But you still have Jaden Daniels out, so it does seem like the Giants might end up taking this game. And there's all your pregame data. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment on what else you'd want to see in the future. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.